First John 1, 1 through 4. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we looked upon and have touched with our hands, concerning the word of life. The life was made manifest, and we have seen it, and testify to it, and proclaim to you the eternal life, which was with the Father, and was made manifest to us. That which we have seen and heard we proclaim also to you, so that you too may have fellowship with us. And indeed, our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ. And we are writing these things so that our joy may be complete. As the apostle begins, we noticed last week the plural pronoun we that he writes with. We understood that he was writing from the eyewitness account of Jesus, having personally seen him and hearing him and even touching him, he says. Today, I want us to focus our attention on the object of which his testimony concerns. And he tells us that which was from the beginning is our first descriptive. Then we get into his eyewitness credibility, and then it is concerning the word of life. So that which was from the beginning concerning the word of life. I want us to think about what the word of life is. If we skip down to verse number 2, the life was made manifest. So we know that it was made manifest. And again, personal witness. We've seen it, and we testify to it. We proclaim to you. And here again is an object, and it is the eternal life, which was from the Father and was made manifest to us. So we see the word of life, and we see the eternal life as the descriptors in this object that the apostle is describing and testifying of. I want to, for just a brief moment, remind you of who John is. John wrote 1 John, 2 John, and 3 John. He's an apostle. He also wrote the book of Revelation from the Isle of Patmos, but he also wrote the Gospel of John. He is the author of 5 New Testament books. And so I want to just remind you of the Gospel of John and how it begins, because it's very similar. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. And then down here I've circled the word life, how it appears. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. These are all some of the same words that we see in the first epistle of John in the first verses. It begins, that which was in the beginning. Here John begins his gospel, in the beginning. Remember, the epistle is concerning the word of life, and here we see the word. And the word was with God, and the word was God. He was in the beginning with God. We see the eternal life that is mentioned here in verse number 4. So I want to simply point that out to you. We go back to the epistle, and we see this relationship again. We see, I want to specifically notice which was with the Father. Remember John's gospel. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And here we see the Word. The Word was with the Father and was made manifest to us. So this relationship, this is what we call the Trinity. This relationship, the triune God or Trinity. And we know the Trinity to be the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. This is first person, second person, third person, 3 in 1 of the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. And we see this relationship. God is modeling a relationship for us. God designed his people to be in relationship. And that is John's purpose in writing, in fact. John says further down here in his gospel, or in his epistle, He says, we do this so that means that is purpose. So that is a purpose clause. Here's the reason we're doing this. We're proclaiming so that you too also may have fellowship, relationship. You see the connection? We want you to have fellowship with us. And indeed, the reason we want you to do it with us is because our fellowship is with the Father and with His Son, Jesus Christ. And so you see first person and second person of the Trinity here as being a relationship with us. That is the apostles, the eyewitness account, and they're in a relationship, and He wants us to be in that same relationship, and so He witnesses, He testifies to us of the truth of God. Finally, let me point out one last thing, that this is a revealed truth made manifest to us. We see that right here. Manifest and manifest means revealed. And so John is saying Jesus has been revealed to us. Um, and you can see that in his gospel in John 1:14. You can see where the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And so it is revealed truth. This is how John begins. It's a mouthful. There's a lot going on here in these first four verses. But that again, that is why he's writing these things, so that our joy may be complete, and that is that fellowship with the Father. So I pray that as you chew on this for the remainder of the day, that you will come to know Christ better as you grow in relationship with Him.